The Legend of the Eight Immortals.
Chapter 15. The Fox's Revelation and the Severing of Mortal Ties. The tragedy struck halfway to their destination. Sanjie and his wife, Lady Bow, both perished on the road, leaving the escorts in a state of absolute panic. Suddenly, a fierce gale erupted from nowhere. The sky turned ink black, and the sun vanished. The streets were swallowed by a swirling storm of sand and mist, so thick that one could not see their own hand before their face. The escorts were forced to flee for cover, abandoning the two bodies inside the carriage. An hour passed before the winds died down. When the men rushed back, they gasped in horror. The carriage was empty. The bodies of Sanjie and Lady Bow had vanished into thin air. Driven by fear, the escorts gathered local witnesses and reported the news to both manors. At the Bow residence, Lady Bow's mother was shattered. At the Soon manor, Old Soon and Lady Luo were initially consumed by grief, for the bond of flesh and blood cannot be easily severed. Yet Zhao stood by with a cold smile. "Mother, do not weep," he whispered poisonously. "Their sudden death and the disappearance of their bones only prove heaven's justice. It shows how wicked their hearts truly were. Such unfilial children deserve no mourning. It is why the earth itself refuses to hold their remains." Blinded by his manipulation, the old couple listened. They wiped their tears, and soon their sorrow was buried under the weight of Zhao lies. While the mortal world was in chaos, the soul of Sanjie was drifting like a leaf in a gray, hazy void. Suddenly, a sharp voice shattered the silence. "Sanjie, where is your wandering soul?" Sanjie startled, realizing he was dead. Looking up, he saw a woman in Taoist robes holding a jade tablet. She patted his shoulder with a beaming smile. "Old friend, do you still remember who's Sanjie?" Sanjie's soul leaped with joy. "Sanjie, I have been murdered by my own brother's dark schemes. Please show mercy and save me." Sanjie laughed. "Why do you think I am here? Come, follow me to a place of peace, and I shall explain the threads of fate that brought you here." They reached a mountain peak with 3 stone chambers. Inside, Sanjie knelt. "I was foolish and failed to honor my master properly. I beg you to take me as your disciple." "I dare not," Sanjie chuckled. "Sit, and I shall reveal the truth. I am an old fox from the western mountains. Long ago, I twice faced the trial of fate by lightning for my past sins. It was your master, Wenmei Zhenren, who saved me. However, he feared my wild nature was too deeply rooted to take me as a formal disciple immediately. Instead, he placed me on a century of service as a test of my sincerity. My first assignment was to guide you. He warned me, if your Daw heart ever wavered, I was to report it, and he would strike you down with the Samadhi fire." Sanjie shuddered. "Thank heaven I remained true to the way." Sanjie asked softly, "why does my brother hate me so? I have never been anything but kind." Sanjie sighed. "This is the law of cause and effect. Your brother, Zhao is the reincarnation of a bitter Zhao. He did not come to be a son, he came for revenge. And as for your mother, Lady Luo, you must understand her past. In her previous life as a river snail maiden, she committed countless sins. She did not just live in the wild, she preyed upon young men to drain their vital essence to fuel her own magic." Sanjie gasped, but Sanjie continued firmly. "Such predatory acts are a direct violation of heaven's law. Even though she did good works in this life, it was not enough to erase the debt of those stolen lives. This tragedy, being betrayed by the son she cherished, is the unfolding of a karmic debt. She must atone for the lives she took centuries ago.
Xianse then asked about his wife, Lady Bo. Sanjie's eyes twinkled. Lady Bo was no ordinary mortal. She was a celestial flower maiden in the heavenly court. She was exiled to the mortal world after a fierce quarrel with a celestial fragrance officer during the Jade Emperor's birthday feast. They were both sentenced to 10 lifetimes of reincarnation. "And our marriage?" Xianse asked. "That was a debt of gratitude," Sanjie explained. "When you were both traversing the path from the underworld toward reincarnation, that old Jiao tried to harass her soul. You fought him off and saved her. This mortal tie was formed in the shadow of the underworld. Now that she has been your wife, the debt is paid. She has already been saved by one of your master's disciples to resume her cultivation. You must not seek her again, or you will create a mortal knot that will hinder your progress." Under Sanjie's guidance, Xianxi remained in the stone chambers to cultivate his Dao heart. Sanjie returned to report to Wenmei Zhenren, visiting Xianxi once a year to teach him sacred arts, how to summon celestial spirits, and protect himself from evil. 4 years passed in the blink of an eye. Xianxi's progress was legendary. He no longer needed mortal food, and his spirit was clear and bright. One day, while in deep meditation, a voice whispered in his ear, "The river snail spirit is in great danger. Is it not time to repay your debt of mercy?" Xianxi opened his eyes. Hu Sanjie had returned. What troubles lie ahead for the river snail spirit? Read on in the next chapter to find out.